everyone, it's Simrat here again with Clinician Link AI. I have Dr. Khanani with me, who's on 11 presentations at EURETINA. And so give us a brief overview of what you've been doing and what the conference has brought for you.
I'm really thrilled to be here. Amsterdam is a great city. EURETINA is a great meeting because you see your colleagues from around the world. In terms of the talks, I think the exciting thing I'm involved with is obviously the real-world data generation for FirstMap. We're leading the Truckee as well as the Tahoe studies, and it's nice to see that it's not just us, but many physicians around the world are sharing their real-world data with FirstMap. So when a new molecule comes out, you need to see how it works in clinical practice in terms of efficacy and safety. So that's been nice to see. The other thing I'm really interested in is sustained delivery of anti-VEGF agents. So I'm part of the tyrosine kinase inhibitor programs, as well as multiple gene therapy programs, intravitreal gene therapy for wet AMD, subretinal gene therapy for wet AMD, suprachoroidal gene therapy for NMD, as well as DR. I just had a paper on diabetic retinopathy, stabilization and improvement in DRSS in the altitude study with ABV RGX-314 gene therapy. So gene therapy and sustained delivery will be the future. So I'm excited about that. So it's been fantastic to be here.
Yeah, I know, especially with the suprachoroidal injection. It's very interesting that you'll be able to perform that within the clinic. You don't have to go into the OR, because I think first with gene therapy, the thought was if everyone has to go into an OR, you're going to have increased waiting times, which is already an issue. So that's really exciting too. What are your thoughts on how that's kind of shift the model of how we're treating patients right now?
Yeah. So subretinal gene therapy for common retinal diseases, of course, NAMD is in phase 3 with ABV RGX-314 right now. But you're right, not all patients can go to the OR. There's time commitment, there's health issues that will stop that. So of course it becomes less utilized. So something in clinic like intravitreal gene therapy or suprachoroidal will be much more utilized because of access to patients, because the time is about the same. Suprachoroidal is very exciting because you are avoiding exposure to the front structures of the eye, you're avoiding exposure to the vitreous cavity, you're just going in the local eye space. And we are learning in terms of efficacy and safety of suprachoroidal gene therapy in both neovascular AMD and DR. So yes, and as you know, there's an FDA-approved steroids for uveitis that is approved for suprachoroidal delivery. So we have experience with suprachoroidal delivery. It's not hard to do. It's pretty straightforward. You just need to learn it and then do a few, and then you're a pro at it.
Yeah, and then for the future, do you find that gene therapy is going to be kind of the mainstay with a little bit of the intravitreal injections? Do you think they're going to be kind of used more so? Just with your experience so far, what are you kind of thinking for the future of ophthalmology and treating patients?
I think we are going to start with injections because, you know, gene therapy does take time to work. The transgene expression, protein production takes some time. So I think for acute patients, you're going to start them on intravitreal injection. Then you're going to see with second generation of agents, whether it's bispecific molecule or tyrosine kinase inhibitors, if they're approved, to see where the interval would be for that patient. But it's also going to depend on the long-term efficacy as well as safety of gene therapy. So I think it's really exciting. As a field, we don't know where we're going to integrate it clearly for high-need patients because they're frequent flyers. They're coming in every month or every other month. So gene therapy with one and done in more than 50% of the patients, and also, you know, decreasing burden for the others. But I think for diabetic retinopathy, it's going to be really exciting because, you know, we are not treating them with anti-VEGF, even though we're approved, because they're good vision patients. They don't have symptoms, and then we wait for vision-threatening complications. And then we have many young patients who lose vision over time. So diabetic retinopathy, if you have a single injection done in clinic that is safe and that works, then I think it will shift the paradigm for us, because that's going to prevent vision loss in these patients with diabetes, which is a global problem.
Yeah, that 0% worsening was incredible to see, because not only are you then saving that patient that trip, but you make sure that you kind of put their disease on hold. And that's super exciting for a patient, like you said, that may not be coming in super frequently.
Exactly, because, you know, we know that gene therapy may not reverse 2 steps. As you saw, there was, of course, 2-step regression too, but the stabilization and 0% worsening is exactly what I am excited about, because even when I use anti-VEGF in, let's say, severe NPDR or PDR patients, I'm not giving them monthly or every 8-week injections. I'm kind of stabilizing the disease because we know the burden is too high. So if I can just stabilize it with a single injection, that is effective and safe, I think it's going to be very meaningful for our patients.